off to Toronto at Pearson Airport, where we would check in our bags and wait for our Porter flight to arrive. Now leaving sunny Toronto for Halifax. Can tell you this right now, I am not a big airplane person, so taking off I was fine. Getting higher, start to really feel the pressure, so for me I got a little worried. After we finally set level and we're allowed our seatbelts off, I felt a little more calm. Got some snacks from vendors there, and then yeah, arriving into Halifax. Really scary landing for me. Did not help me at all, but you know, we got there safely, which is all that really matters. Now that we picked up the car and on our way to the cottage near Bridgewater. Alright, so day one, just getting groceries, and we'll see what we do later on. After doing all that, I got a little friendly surprise, really close to the shorelines, right on at the back of the cottage, and it was a common loon. Really nice to see it and really set the trip going forward. Day 2, Rissers Beach Provincial Park. Really nice beach. If anyone wants to go for a long walk, it is one of the perfect places to do it. Found multiple things lying around. You saw crabs, you saw lobsters, like lobster claws, which one of the photos will be showing up right about now. Really cool. I would suggest going. Got a lot of the seagulls trying to open up a mussel, which the one flying to the right was trying to crack it open. Was unsuccessful alongside other ones, but it was really fun to watch. And yeah, that was only the beach side. The next part of Rissers Beach is to go through the forest area. Yeah, a little close in. I would be aware of ticks. Nova Scotia is known for their kind of tick problem. So anytime we entered into a forest with long grass, I would tuck in my shirt as well as tuck in the socks over top of the pants to guarantee tick safety. After Rissers Beach, we went on a look for harbor seals. Unfortunately, didn't have any luck, but did find a common eider. I've never seen one before. I love the coloring on the males. They are really nice colors, and it kind of complements each other very well, and I really love it. They were everywhere in this trip. This was one of my favorite places to go in Nova Scotia for this trip. Keenamakujic, sorry, it's very hard to pronounce, was one of my favorite areas. The seaside was amazing. Leading up to it, this was where I was hoping I would see my first harbor seals, and yeah, it said it was around a 4-kilometer hike. It was probably more like 8. Black bears do roam this area, so be careful when you do hike and keep aware for them, especially during the May to June season where the mums will have cubs. That would be my only issue with mornings and nights over there. Great lookout spot right before the seaside, and yeah, here you are. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4 in the water, and looks like 3 on the little island at the back. Right past this rock here, just a little further ahead. Oh, there's a couple popped up there. Yeah. Ah, that's cool. That's the first for me. At At this point in the video, we are going to do a little fun fact about harbor seals. Do harbor seals rely heavily on their blubber? Yes. The insulation that the blubber acts is an excellent insulator for trapping the heat and preventing the seal's body temperature from dropping in cold waters. This also helps with buoyancy. The blubber helps the seal maintain buoyancy, allowing them to float easily on the water's surface and swim with less effort. Blubber also serves as an energy reserve, providing the seal with fuel during periods of fasting or when hunting is difficult. In this next clip, I did not realize this, but there is a gray seal on the rock alongside the harbor seals. Now arriving at St. Catharines Beach, north from where we saw the seals, there is a clip coming up that if you are by yourself, this is what you should not do. This could have ended very badly for me if I was not alone.
Not bad. Yeah, it's not bad.
Not bad?
Ooh, never mind, I lied. It's cold.
It's cold?
Very, very cold.
Whoa! Low cold?
A little bit.
Yes, I know what you're thinking. It doesn't look that bad, but imagine if it was a higher tide and I am by myself. I am risking my gear as well as myself to get pulled away from a shore. But I will say it was worth it because I got this shot of the Willet. And not too bad, right? Anyways, forget about that. We are now off to the National Park of Keenamacujik. So we are away from the seaside. This is about an hour trip from the seaside. Really, really nice park. I wouldn't say animal-wise was the best, but if you're looking for a nice scenic hike, it is a perfect place to go. The rivers are beautiful, and the evergreens were truly amazing. Everywhere you looked, it was really, really nice. I will say the bugs were getting really nasty because it is May. Bring a bug net. You're gonna need it. They're everywhere. Day 4, we are at the Citadel in Halifax. There is a cannon warning going on 3, 2, 1. That is the 12 o'clock afternoon. But anyways, off to Peggy's Cove. This is the biggest tourist attraction in Nova Scotia. It is known to be a really nice small town, and it really was. But the biggest attraction is the famous lighthouse. The Peggy Cove's Lighthouse is a Canadian iconic symbol of the East. The tourist attraction brings so many people from around the world to come see this lighthouse. It is one of the most photographed in the world. First built in 1868, the original lighthouse was wooden with a beacon on the roof. The current structure that you see in these photos was built in 1915. If you don't know about the Swiss Air Flight 111, it crashed into the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Nova Scotia on September 2nd, 1998, killing all 229 passengers on board. The plane was a route from New York to Geneva. Lunenburg, Nova Scotia has a rich history as a planned British settlement founded in 1753. The economic growth of Lunenburg's economy thrived on farming, fishing, shipbuilding, and trade. Lunenburg is a really nice little town. This is also where you can go whale watching, which is what we are going to do very shortly. Unfortunately, we weren't in the right season to see the Atlantic puffins as they come around summertime. I don't know why I didn't record it, but there is a ship off to the right at the end of this clip. It is the Blue Nose 2, which Blue Nose is the one that is on our dime. Now we're heading towards the Ovens, which is a privately owned park. It is known for the thunderous caves when the water splashes inside of the holes within those cliffs. That would be in a later day when we go there, so I'll show you that part of it too. We weren't able to go any farther around the Ovens just due to the waves. They were getting pretty violent very fast, so we were heading towards Cross Island, where the captain was showing us where the harbor seals and gray seals rest. Now, this is a flip side. All the harbor seals are now on the rocks, and all the gray seals were now in the water, except for the two that decide to go into the water because of our presence. Now, so far in this trip, we have seen the harbor seal, gray seal. We've also seen the common loons as well as the common eiders. Not too long, we did see a bald eagle perch against this tree, and that was the last we saw it. The 4 types of whales we could have seen on this trip was the humpback whale, finback whale, pilot whale, and the mink whale, as they are commonly seen during spring and summer. More or less, Lunenburg whale watching tour for this one is open the earliest, but the whales are mainly at the St. Lawrence side, which is a bummer, but honestly, I'll go back another year during the summertime when it's more likely. Here's the layout of the trip we did on that boat. I highly suggest the smoke pit barbecue. I did get the brisket, it was really good. I do highly suggest going. Day 6, morning sunrise seal watching. I needed a little more time to speak about this one because the first time we went, I loved it, but this time I wanted that early morning East Coast sunrise on those seals. Unfortunately, it was cloudy, but there was a couple times where the sun would peek out and I got some amazing shots of the harbor seals. These 2 harbor seals were going at it for hours on end. For the 3 hours I was there, they were non-stop. It made some for good photos, but for some photos, I really didn't want them in, but it was very entertaining and you could hear them from a mile away. But here is the morning sunrise that I really wanted to get. Now going back to the cottage, I do have a little surprise coming up. I do find these guys back home, but I'm one of the only people that know about it within my area. But I wanted also in a different scene, which is perfect when you're in Nova Scotia. I do have a pellet warning that's going to be coming up. It's just pretty much leftover food that they get out of their system. Ugh, gross, right? I don't mind it, but it is kind of gross, so just want to make sure if you want to go see it, go see it. If you don't, you don't. I want to make sure that, you know, no one gets grossed out by it, so you had the chance to skip it if you needed to. I was actually lucky enough not to see one, but two barred owls. This one, I can't remember if it was a juvenile or not. I couldn't really tell. Maybe someone will help me out. I believe it was still an adult, but with that being said, two is better than one. I'd take that any day of the week when it comes to owls. I believe this one snuck up behind me because it was not on that tree before. Here we are, last day, and we are at the ovens. You saw one side of the ovens while on the whale tour from Lunensburg. This one is a really unique place to go. I would suggest going here. It's really cool how nature and what people do. This used to be a cave back in the day for mining, but they reached that area and went like, no, we are not mining any further. Right back up. Also, very, very slippery stairs and very dangerous. If you have a problem with steep stairs or wet surfaces, go really, really slow or don't go at all. Yeah, it can be a safety thing, so just be aware of that. Here is another tunnel going down into that little ravine. It is very tight squeeze, so if it's busy, you gotta work your way through. Luckily enough for me, no one was there, so it's pretty easy getting in. I'm about 5'8". I still had to duck down a little bit to get through. This concludes the video. I really appreciate you guys watching. Like and subscribe. I'll do better with videos. This is for me to get all my nerves out, and hopefully I could do better in the future. Thank you.